2011 marks the 10th-year anniversary for Ride Shakedown. What originally started as a Canadian event has grown internationally, adding stops in Summit at Snoqualmie and this year in Garmisch, Germany.
Winning the first title on European soil was 18-year-old Jamie Nichols, throwing down the giant backside double cork, and then into the rail section he's got a 50-50 270 out. Combining that run with this, his second, he's got a cab 1080, rolls into the rail section switch, half cab 50-50 270 out in the opposite direction, and those two runs combined were going to be enough to earn him 15,000 euros and the first European Ride Shakedown title.
We're here at the next stop of the Shakedown here at Summit Snoqualmie, and right now we're going to head over to the rail event to check out the best trick contest.
The rail complex at the Ride Shakedown is always changing, and here at Summit at Snoqualmie, they've got a brand new innovative setup with a 24-foot down rail, and just to keep these riders honest is a 1-foot extension that has been nicknamed the Donkey. Right next door, we've got the Double Cake. This rail has 5 stairs, followed by a 2-foot flat section, another 5 stairs, the second 2-foot kink, and then the final 5 stairs. The kink, definitely the more technical of the 2 rails, but these riders are going to have to do well on both. As a precursor to the main event, the Ride Shakedown kicks things off with the rail jam. The skies in the Pacific Northwest opened up and the snow was dumping down, but it certainly didn't seem to faze any of our competitors. They had to try to impress the judges on both features throughout the jam format to try to move on to the finals. Now this is a lot easier said than done when you've got an incredibly talented lineup of snowboarders like here at the Ride Shakedown. It was broken down into 2 heats with a couple riders from each heat moving on to the final. The competitors need to find a balance between consistency, difficulty, and how technical each of their tricks are. Jeremy Cloutier was able to nail all of these aspects, and it was exactly what the judges wanted to see because he moved on to the finals. Now, some of the competitors chose a less than orthodox way to get down to the bottom of the staircase, but it was certainly no less efficient. And with time winding down, these snowboarders found themselves in a tricky situation. If they weren't that consistent, they really had to step up to the plate and throw down something difficult. Here we have Johnny Laz, backside 3 50-50 180 out, just sneaking into the finals. Moving on to heat number 2. These riders, trying to accomplish the same thing as heat number 1, earn themselves a position in the final. More specifically, to make this happen, these riders got to add a ton of variation into their tricks. This also means adding things like a rotation onto the rail and a rotation off of the rail. Mats Kulisek here, 50-50, and then finishes it off with a frontside 3. So it combines the 50-50 on the rail trick with the 360 rotation off. Obviously that's going to up the difficulty level and impress the judges. Once these riders have mastered these particular maneuvers, they can move on and add even an extra rotation before they get onto the rail. As is demonstrated here by Stefan Krum, he has a 180 rotation, 50-50, and then an extra 180 off the end of the rail. The crowd can certainly get into that one. Now Nick Puichov takes it even one step further, rotating while sliding down the rail. Now all that's left is for the judges to figure out who's moving on.
All right, guys, finals are about to happen. You guys have been chosen. What's gonna happen? I'm gonna flip this little coin right here, and depending on what shows, that's gonna show which rail you're gonna have to session. So let's do the coin toss, and then you guys are gonna have 3 runs. 2 runs out of those 3 runs are gonna count towards your top score, and that's gonna determine who gets all the money. Woo! All right, so the coin was flipped, tails came up, so the guys are gonna session the double kink for the final rail jam.
The finals kicked off in near whiteout conditions. We're going to take a look at the top 2 runs of our finalists. Jeremy Cloutier on his first hit, gaps, frontside 50-50, and then spins that frontside 3 coming off the end of the rail. Our next competitor, Mats Kulisek. He's coming in switch. He's got this backside 50-50, but going unnatural to his regular way of riding, which is left foot forward. We see it there again, backside 50-50, oh so smooth, oh so difficult doing it switch. Up next, Zach Hale. He's got that frontside board, almost goes all the way back past 90 degrees here on the last kink. You can see it, tweaks it out. That's a strong first run for Zach. Johnny coming in for his first run here in the finals. We've seen him do this trick in the prelims, but that's fine because all these guys have a clean slate coming into the finals. So here you see Johnny's got a backside 180 into that switch 50-50 and then brings it all the way back around, riding out regular. Up next, Zach Hale. This is his second run in the finals. He opts for a bit of an over press all the way through the kink. Comes up and over almost like a lip slide, staying way out over his nose. Solid second run for Zach. Matt Kulisek, getting a little bit more tech here on his second run. If you remember, he did that switch 50-50 on his first attempt. Here on his second, he's got a 50-50 and then a frontside 3 off the bottom. Take notice that he did clear that bottom section of the rail, adding to the difficulty. The last rider of the night, last chance to take the win, Jeremy Cloutier, steps up, gaps, frontside 180, 50-50 into the switch backside 3 off the rail, definitely earning himself top spot and $5,000 for the Ride Shakedown Rail Jam. Since day one, the Ride Shakedown has been setting the bar for what snowboard events should be all about. With a loose structure and laid-back format, the riders are able to have fun, push each other, and even progress snowboarding as a whole. Now that these guys have torn up the rail complex, let's take it up to the big air jump and see what they can uncork on that behemoth.
How's it going out there? We're here with Brendan O'Dowd, co-creator of the Shakedown. 10-year anniversary this year. Tell us about it. How did it start? What was the inspiration behind it and all that good stuff?
Yeah, my partner Patrick Bernier and I came up with the idea of the Shakedown in 2002. We wanted just to create a fun jam format event. At the time, there wasn't very many fun snowboard events. It was very competitive and kind of that military competitive format of contests. And we wanted to create something that was different and more creative than what was out there at the time. And I think the format of the event is a very spectator-friendly event, but also very rider-friendly event. It's a format that's fun, but also very easy for the crowd to understand. So I think that's kind of why we've had so much success over the past 10 years.
It's a great idea, and it's been very successful for you guys. So explain what the actual setup is. There's jump, there's rails. How does it all work?
So the way it's all matched together, it's jump followed by rail setup. Riders need to perform on both the jump and the rail. 50% of the overall score goes to the jump and 50% to the rail. So we need riders that are able to be very consistent and land tricks on the rails, but also on the jump. So we don't have one guy doing the same thing all weekend. And that's what we've seen in other contests, that riders don't have the option to do a variety of tricks where they're doing the same thing all day, and that's kind of what we wanted to avoid. So we have a large bank turn coming into the course. We have roughly a 65-foot jump, and then they have the option to get on 2 different rails.
So the format here in semis is a 2-hour jam with all the guys. They get 2 judged runs out of the jam. How does the format work for that?
The way the jam format works is that we have 35 invited pros for the semifinals. They have 2 hours to do 3 judged runs. They have to call their trick on the jump as well as on the rail. If they land their tricks on the first judged run, they cannot repeat the same tricks on the second and third judged runs. So that just creates a huge variety of tricks. So we avoid having one guy winning with the same trick all weekend, and it also creates a great show for the crowd where they're seeing a bunch of different tricks and not just the same thing. We're really excited about today's event. Woke up this morning and the skies were blue, not a cloud in the sky from last night's rail jam that went really well. Stormy, we got over 1 foot of snow during the rail jam, but today we have blue skies and it's going to be a great day.
We're looking forward to it. People are going to come out and sun and fun.
It's going to be good.
From the semifinals, the top 10 riders will be moving on to the finals. We're going to take a look at how the top 5 shook out. This is Jordan Phillips, opening things up with a cab 9, and then down into the rail section with a lip slide to fakie. Finishing things up in 4th place, Japanese competitor Yuki Kodono. He's got a backside 9, but drags his hand just a little bit. The judges will probably take away some points for that. He was able to make it up with a strong rail, 50-50 frontside 180 out. Moving into the top 3 in the semifinals, Tyler Flanagan unleashing the backside 10 and then getting a little bit conservative in the rail section with the frontside lip slide. In 2nd place, Nick Hine. He's got a giant frontside 10, effortless on the landing. Judges love to see that sort of thing. Into the rail section, frontside 180, 180 out. Top dog in the semifinals, Ontario, Canada's Zachary Stone. Unwinding the giant backside 10 double cork, he comes down into the rail section for a very mellow backside board slide because he just wants to make it through to the next round. Coming up, the finals.
Once again, at the Shakedown this year, it's going to be a fierce competition. The guys got 90 minutes to put down 3 judged runs, and we're going to see who's going to outshine the rest and become the Ride Shakedown champion.
Now what we've all been waiting for, the finals of the Ride Shakedown. Let's take a look at our top 5 finishers. This is Mats Kulisek on one of his early practice runs. Trying for the frontside 10, which is 3 full rotations. It's a trick that he's definitely very consistent at stomping, but wasn't able to do it all that clean here in practice. I think just going through the motions to get a feel for this course. Run number 1 for Zach Stone. 20 years old from Ontario, Canada, Zach has called the backside 10 double cork. If you remember, this is the trick that earned him 1st place in the semifinals, and he's hoping that it'll do the same here in the finals. Perhaps a little bit too excited, he carries too much speed, over rotates and goes down hard, but he does have 2 more attempts. Up in the gate, 18-year-old Tyler Flanagan from Mammoth Lakes, California. Tyler has called the exact same trick as previous rider Zach Stone. He's going for the backside 10. So coming in on the jump portion of the course, coming around, stomps it nice and clean. Now into the rail complex. Again, you've got to hit both of these obstacles if you want to post a big number. Tyler Flanagan was able to do just that. Let's take a closer look at his backside 10 double cork. Right here you can see him, corks it around for the 2nd time, extends the landing gear, bam! Up in the gate, our newest member of the youth movement here in snowboarding, Yuki Kodono. 14 years old from Japan, this is his 1st Ride Shakedown, and he's looking to make an impression. He's called the backside 10, hits the jump with a ton of speed, lands way down into the flats, rides away clean, backside 10, then the 50-50 frontside 180 out. He's certainly excited about that run. If you look right here, backside 10, 3 full rotation, lands way down into the transition. He's pretty stoked about that run. He's gonna go back up top, he's got 2 more. All smiles in the starting gate, looking for run number 1, Nick Hine. He's called out the frontside 900, so that's 2.5 rotations. He's dropping in regular, which means he will end up landing switch, which is a little bit difficult for some of these riders. Getting right upside down, clean landing. Now into the rail complex. You gotta put both tricks together, backside lip. Nick Hine with a great run early, leaving the door wide open for his next 2 runs. Mats Kulisek has been working on the 1260. Now this is 3.5 full rotations. He's just about got it all the way around, just can't seem to find his feet. If he can make this happen on a judged run, he's gonna be someone to contend with for sure. Back in the start gate for his 2nd judged run, 20-year-old Zach Stone. If you remember, on his 1st run, he wasn't able to land the backside 10 double cork, but he's called it again, and he's got a 2nd chance. There it is. Now coming down into the rail section, he likes that kink. Going for the regular board slide, makes it happen. Zach Stone with an excellent 2nd run. If you look right here, upside down, double cork twice, back into the landing. Zach Stone right here, 27.2, the highest run of the day so far. And dropping in for his 1st judge run of the day, last year's champ, Mats Kulisek. He really understands the Ride Shakedown strategy and is able to capitalize on most days. He's called the frontside 10, Big, smooth, stomps his landing. Now he's coming into the rail section. He's looking for his 50-50 to 360 out, but loses his footing and goes down. On the jump, you can see that frontside 10. Nice and big, nice and clean. He's not happy, but he's got another 2 runs. Getting ready for his second judged run, 14-year-old Yuki Kadono. He's also called the frontside 10. He had a backside 10 in his first run, landed it clean, so let's see if he can do the same here in run number 2. Grabs his tail all the way around, pats the dog just a little bit on his landing, dragging his hand. Then into the rail section, he's got the 50-50 to 180 out. Now looking again at this frontside 10, big, smooth, great landing. He's happy with that. He's got one more run to see if he can take the win. Mats Kulisek calling the frontside 12, 3.5 full rotations. We watched him miss this in practice, but he was extremely close, and let's see if he can do it here in his second judged run. 3.5 times, makes it happen, clean landing, almost losing it in the flats coming into the rail section. Switch 50-50, Mats Kulisek has got to be happy with that run. Let's take a look at this again. Frontside 12-60. 3.5 rotations, lands it clean, gets a little bit squirrely into the flats, again into that switch 50-50, slams it down with authority. He's got to be happy with that run, posting the highest single run of the day with a 29.1, sitting in second place, but there's tons of snowboarding left.
There's only a couple minutes left in the finals, and soon we're gonna know, out of this whole field, the adrenaline's pumping, energy's crazy. We're gonna know who's gonna be the champion of this year's Ride Shakedown.
Back up top, young Tyler Flanagan feels he's ready for his second judged run. He's called the Cab 900 on the first hit. That means he has to roll in switch, so riding opposite to his natural way. 2.5 full rotations, so clean on that landing, stomping it like it ain't no thing. Coming in, frontside board slide, Tyler Flanagan, very strong run. The Cab 9, maybe not the biggest in rotations, but when you do it this smooth and land it this clean, you're bound to put up a pretty good score, and Tyler's got to be happy with that. Up next for his second judged run, New Zealand snowboarder Nick Hine. Trading in his surfboard for a snowboard up here in the Northern Hemisphere, Nick is stepping up from the 9 he tried in the first round to a second run here on the frontside 10. That's 3 full rotations, getting it all the way around, but not able to hang on, catching an edge and going down. Staring down the barrel of his third and final run, Zach Stone is in a make it or break it situation. Falling on his first run, he did manage to nail his second. He's looking for the underflip 9 on this, his final run. Upside down twice, patting the dog, losing his footing, coming down into the rail section. He's got a bit of a tail press, but unfortunately, if he wasn't able to stay on his feet, there's no chance he's gonna be able to make it to the podium. And that's gonna be it for Canadian Zach Stone. Coming down to the wire here at the Ride Shakedown at Summit at Snoqualmie, Tyler Flanagan looking at his third and final run and is opting to bypass the high rotation and go for the backside 7. Now this is only 2 rotations, doesn't have the level of difficulty that some of these other tricks do, but when you stomp it as clean and as big as that, it's gonna work for you. Young Tyler Flanagan with the gap to frontside lip slide. With that run, he's gonna move into third spot. You can see right here, the backside 7 holding his board the entire way, right over the bolts, coming down strong. Young Tyler Flanagan riding well beyond his years. Speaking of riding well beyond your years, Yuki Kadono, 14 years old. He's calling the Cab 1260. Currently in first place, Yuki will be donating half of any prize money to the recovery mission in Japan. Here off the jump, trying to get those 3.5 full rotations, makes it happen. Now coming into the rail section, 50-50 frontside 180 out. Yuki's gotta be stoked with that run. Currently in first place, looking to extend his lead. This 1260, very solid, but does have a bit of a hand drag. We'll have to see what the judges have to say about that. But no matter what, he's got a spot on the podium and he'll be sending some money home to friends and family in Japan. It's do or die time for Nick Hine. The Kiwi has called the front side 10 yet again. He missed it in run number 2. Here he is dropping in. Let's see if he's got what it takes here. Third and final run, under the gun, makes it happen, gets a little bit squirrely coming into the rail section. He's eyeing up that 24-footer, looking to try the 270, going down, definitely a little bit frustrated, but after the way he rode today, he can certainly go home proud. It all comes down to this. Mats Kulisek, final rider, his third and final run. He's called the Backside Rodeo 7. He does not need to post a big score here to win. It's pretty simple. If he can stay on his feet, he will win the Ride Shakedown Summit at Snoqualmie for the 2nd year in a row. Into the rail, frontside 180, that's gonna be it. Mats Kulisek, here's a look at his winning run, catapulting him to the top of the podium here in 2011. The frontside 180, 50-50 to finish things off. Yuki Kodono coming in 2nd place, 14 years old, very respectable riding from this young man. I'm expecting big things from this guy in the future. And rounding out our top 3, Tyler Flanagan. The consistency on this kid all weekend long was phenomenal, just a pleasure to watch. With a 12-year span between the youngest and the oldest rider here on the podium, this is representing the present and the future of the Ride Shakedown Summit at Snoqualmie.
So excited, really tired, didn't get much sleep last night, but little siesta and then we'll go party tonight, so it's perfect.
Yeah, just keep it going, keep it running. So how did you feel today? Were you feeling good at the beginning? Did you make a comeback into whatever? Put me in your brain.
I was feeling pretty good, and then in like qualification I took a hard bail. I was kind of feeling weird, and then I did a couple runs in the finals and it worked out perfect, so it was awesome.
Way to get it. What was your trick that did it for you, you think?
Well, like the front 12 to the switch 50 on the kink, which is the switch 50 is pretty much learned it yesterday, so pretty stoked on that. It's perfect.
That's awesome. I'm so stoked for you. What's the plans for tonight?
Gonna go have a siesta.
Yeah.
Then have a really good meal.
Then maybe a little casino?
Straight to the casino.
All right. Well, so stoked. Great day and happy you did it. Way to get it. So that concludes the Ride Shakedown 2011. Big shout out to our sponsors, Ride Snowboards, Summit at Snoqualmie, for hosting this amazing event, and for all the fans and riders that came out. That's a wrap, and we'll see you guys next year.